Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. This is a follow up to the video that I just posted because I received a comment about Tariq Nasheed's Mack Lessons and his dating books, his other dating books. And someone basically was dismissing that as not being significant, not being a big deal. They basically said, well, it's fake outrage to be upset about this whole issue of Mac lessons and even to raise the question is phony. And they were talking about how it's just entertainment and they don't think that Mac lessons disqualifies Tariq Nasheed from serving as a black leader. And I just wanted to deal with that for a second because frankly, I think that that is part of the problem. A lot of people just don't get it. Um, And I talked about this more during my hangout. I talked about the significance of it, but I want to address it right now. First of all, men should not be about playing games. And that's all that this book series is about. It's about how to manipulate women, how to get over on women, how to quote unquote mac on women. Um, Real men should be about building families, promoting family life. Running around chasing women, womanizing, that doesn't build a strong community. In fact, that destroys our community. That's part of the reason why our communities are in disarray today. That's part of the reason why you have so many out of wedlock births, so many single parent households, because people have a player mentality instead of a man mentality. That's part of the problem with our community. People want to play around instead of being real men, instead of building real families. So I don't think that this is some trivial issue. I don't think it's a trivial issue that a book promotes the manipulation of women, the womanizing of women, the disrespect of women. That's not anything that's a joking matter. That's not anything to be taken lightly. It is not something to be taken lightly when you have a man glorifying the pimping lifestyle. Even though his books are not literally about how to pimp, they glorify the pimping lifestyle. Because as we all know, macking comes from that popular movie called The Mack, that exploitation movie from back in the day about a pimp named Goldie, and the name of the movie was The Mack. And that's what people think of when they think about Mack lessons. The imagery suggests this as well. I mean, pictures of Tariq with multiple women. And somebody had the nerve to say, well, how does this undermine his credibility as a leader? I mean, that should be obvious to anyone with any ounce of intelligence. Here you have a man promoting deception and lies in order to manipulate and get over on women. That goes to somebody's credibility. And the fact that he moved from one hustle to another hustle, from the pimp game hustle and player hustle to this race hustle, it does say something about, it does raise questions about his sincerity. It seems like his primary motivation is money. Instead of teaching people about macking lessons, this brother is a married man. He needs to teach people about building families, family life. That's what we need to promote in our community. Without a strong family, you don't have a strong community. You don't have anything. Sexism is not something to be taken lightly. The disrespect of black women is not to be taken lightly. That's not something to be dismissed as fake outrage. Without black woman's liberation, you don't have black liberation. Without the respect of the black woman, you can't really have a strong community. A lot of people think their idea of black power is black men's power instead of black people power. Power for black men and women. Respect for black men and women. These people They just don't get it. And, in those Mack lessons, one of the popular images that this man has is he has white women in these images of being a Mack. We have to remember that this is a man who basically played a satire role of a pimp, basically cooned for Michael Moore. That can't be dismissed. Here you have a man that condemns some African American women as bed wenches for being with white men, but yet this man had no problem taking all these photographs with white women, pretending to be a Mack of white women. This man, in fact, had no problem talking about how he'd love to have sex with a white woman. This man has no problem uplifting white women as better mothers than black women. But yet you want to dismiss this whole Mack Lessons thing as being irrelevant. If you don't have credibility, you have nothing. If your word is questioned, if your truthfulness is questioned, then you can't even really function as a real leader. You can't. So that's why this stuff is important. The respect of our women is important. So I just find it sickening that people would just dismiss that and brush it off like it doesn't matter. Dismiss the plight of the sisters like it doesn't matter. I mean, why would anybody glorify a pimping lifestyle? And this is not just in the past. I mean, this man continues to market these books. This man continues with his program about dating, basically going back to some of the Mack lessons. And a lot of those Mack lessons are still all over YouTube. People don't take those Mack lessons as simple satire and comedy. People take them seriously. They take this man's advice seriously. So to dismiss it as satire, I think that's disingenuous. I mean, of course, there's some comedy in there somewhere. I mean, he's a comedian after all. He is, somebody that likes to joke around and all that stuff, as we can tell. But still, people take this advice seriously. Still, he promotes these books. And obviously, this person that left this comment, obviously, he claims to have learned something from those lessons. So this is a serious matter that shouldn't just be brushed aside. Peace.